there. I'm Jedi Joy,
I'm Jedi Geo.
and welcome back to episode 6 of a whole lot of madness going on. Mm-hmm.
Well, we got two
Boy,
episodes
2 episodes
and
that were really,
re-
really good.
really good.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I'm glad everybody can join us today.
Yes,
Um,
episode 1
yeah, so we're going
is
to be discussing.
Identity Crisis. Episode 2,
Oh,
sorry,
get
episode,
it right, Jedi Geo. So we got episode 10,
yes,
Identity Crisis.
yes.
Episode 11, Point of No Return.
Right. And they were both really good. I'm
Right.
telling you, Dave Filoni is hitting it out of the park.
Yes, he is.
Every single episode we've gotten so far has been mm,
Yep.
superb, like a pizza pie. Mm. Yes,
If you're Italian.
that's right. We're Italian, so you know what I mean. Hey, goodbye, hey. Right?
Right.
So we had we had terrible time last night though with our we hope that we're not going to have too many connections
Issues. We shouldn't.
connecting because
We lost power.
some storms going through really bad
Yeah,
storms.
lightning strike
Hmm.
put out power in our area, and
So
it's
hey,
not good.
thank you. I want to say right now, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank
And
you.
we appreciate you all. And
Yep, thank you for your support. And
don't forget
let's,
to comment down below there and let us know you have any questions. You want to add anything to the comments?
yeah, you have a thought or two about the Bad Batch
Yeah, let us know in those
episodes that we're
comments.
talking about, or anything in general. Well, hey,
Right.
we'll answer.
Yes.
And let's get started.
Woo.
So last week we had the
Harbinger.
Harbinger
Yes.
episode,
Right.
and that's the forewarning. Well, it's starting. So it starts with episode 10. We learn about how Emery is being affected by this whole project that Hemlock is working on, Dr. Hemlock, and she's she. I think she's just going to turn out to be like a very compassionate person.
I do. I think she's going to be like Omega.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really do. I think
You get it out there, Joy. Jedi Joy. What do you think?
well, let's work our way through the episode first.
Mhm.
Up to, what first off, we see this take place and we don't realize what the heck's going on, and then we're like, oh yeah, okay, so this is what's going to happen. We see the little kid and then the mama, and
I don't
apparently
think it's a mama. I think it's a nanny
that's not
droid.
a droid.
Oh, no, but I mean,
That looks like an owl to
okay,
me.
well, okay. So,
It does
I
not
mean,
look like a droid.
so in the credits, that's the only thing that stands out to me is that
It's
part.
not a droid. Okay,
Okay.
people in the comments, we
Yeah,
need you.
yeah.
We need your help
I
because
we're having a disagreement, and it is not good.
uh-huh.
We don't want it to get to the shouting
We are
stages.
bantering
We are just bantering a little bit.
over the fact that owl-looking character and the little baby who looks like a little baby owl, if that's not a nanny droid,
Okay.
that's the mama.
All right. Okay. Let's just continue. We'll continue. We'll let it go for now because I do not like to get involved in any arguments whatsoever. It's one or the other, and we just do not know. But I have
Okay.
my opinion.
It's very clear that we can see that the little child there has force sensitive. It's force sensitive.
Well, yes, and
the
a lot force sensitive.
right. So the one person realizes this, makes a phone call, says I need a class 1 bounty hunter, and guess who shows up? Cad Bane.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming, man.
Yeah,
There he
yeah.
is, because he's top of the line. He's one of the best.
Right.
So he kills the mama and takes the child. Toto. Toto is funny.
Yeah.
There.
Funny.
He's like, I'm not an nanny droid. That's what he said.
Oh.
I'm not a nanny droid. That's who they're referring to, Toto. Do they have Toto in the credits?
No.
He's the nanny droid.
I don't believe so.
Well, because
Let's
I'm not
see.
because I'm not a nanny droid. I thought that's what he said. Oh yeah, it was pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyhow, he he comes on and he says, uh, he goes, okay, you take them. They packed the baby all up and, and he gave the little toy to the baby and the baby shut up and he goes, oh, I think he was quite impressed that he got it to calm down.
Yeah,
That was pretty
I was just
funny.
a little bit confused as to where they were going with this when they first
Yeah,
started,
me too.
but it was very apparent then after you find out, well, the two
Hmm.
villagers are like
Right.
townspeople,
Yeah.
whatever. I saw him throw it. That baby can't throw that. He's not even big enough to hold the thing and blah blah blah. I saw him throw it. So it's like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
figure it out,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
what's happening
Right.
and what's going on and you know what it's all about.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, so
Yeah.
and then we find out even more. But
Then we go back.
well,
We go to the science
we
lab
do.
there, the
And the Emery at that point wants to be the new chief scientist.
yeah, she goes, you don't trust me by now, don't you trust me?
Right.
Surely you trust me. And he
Yeah.
goes,
Okay.
okay.
So she gets to in on the she gets to go into the vault. She gets
Right.
to learn more about the necromancer project and
A little bit. I don't know. I mean, she
oh
only knows,
she didn't
she
know that there
doesn't know,
was children involved.
no,
She
but
didn't know any of that
I
stuff.
don't think she knows a whole bunch more than what she
No.
does, other
Well,
than what she's seen. Like,
right.
there's a whole,
Well, there's that other vault that Palpatine sees.
right.
But she doesn't, and it's in
She
the
has
same
no idea
area.
what's going
It's in
on.
the same area, but it's a different direction, obviously.
Right. But here we get to the whole thing in the nutshell. She is seeing what's actually happening,
Hmm.
and she don't like what she's happening. And for the
She don't
very
like what
first
she sees
time,
happening.
right, she
Hmm.
doesn't like what she sees happening. And for the very first time, she is questioning
Her identity.
Dr. Royce
Yeah,
Hemlock's
and
motives as to what's going on
well,
here.
and she's trying to find her identity through this because
Hmm.
that's who put like she was a kid too, and she
Hmm.
was like what those children were in that
Right,
vault,
right.
and she don't understand it,
I
and
know.
it's like, and that's all she wanted to do was go home too, probably,
Yeah,
and she don't understand it, so she's trying to find her identity now,
yeah.
and I think she's finding it. I really do think she's finding it.
Yes.
She's
Hey,
confused, but I think she's finding it.
yeah. And we see a couple of the younglings, we'll call them younglings, right? Uh,
No, they're not younglings, but they have potential being. They have the high income.
they're younglings. So we see Jax. He's a new character, Jax,
Hmm.
and Eva. There are two characters, two of them, and there was another one in there, but I don't believe we know her name
No,
yet.
that we don't.
But there was something going on with her too. It's kind of one of the expressions that she made in there, and I'm really not sure. But they all went out.
Yeah, they all just want to go home.
They all just want to go home, and isn't that sad?
It is sad. So she, Emery sees all of this. She sees
Yeah,
that the boy wants to go out. He wants to escape. She doesn't like the the way that the boy escaping, Jax,
yeah,
how he was treated. He's just a
right.
child. She says he's just a child.
He's
And
just a
Scorch
child,
is like, I'm just following protocol for specimens trying to leave.
right? Where we heard that before, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so,
Um.
it's a shame that we see Scorch like that, but it's like,
Mhm.
that's who he is now.
Mhm.
And I have a theory on all of this after I'll say since
Okay.
she's in this Emery's in this position
Right.
now.
Yeah.
But I just want to finish my thoughts. So she sees all of this. She actually
Yeah.
goes to Nayla, say, in her prison cell and says,
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I need some information. I forget what it was about, but she goes, oh, so you take it over my position? And she goes, yes, they're children. Why, and she was just so upset this whole conversation.
Yeah.
And the last things that were said were really impacting. And it's let me see if I can find it on my notes here.
Oh
It
yeah.
says, she says, there's nothing I can do to Nayla.
Yeah.
So Emery says, there's nothing I can do. I don't have that kind of power.
Right.
And Nayla's like, don't you? In other words, she's implying that, she has access to probably a lot of things that most people don't in that unit, and she knows how everything works, and so she can make things happen.
Right.
My theory is that Emery can actually, and I don't know if this can happen or not, and if it could be done, but wouldn't it be interesting if she can reverse the 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 techniques or whatever they did to the clones, especially Scorch and that
Yeah.
Clone X that we think is tech,
Right.
and reverse their whole programming to make them back or close to what they were,
Yeah.
and revert them, and then it changes the whole system around them. They're fighting, a whole big army is fighting against Hemlock instead. So if you can get to most of those clones and everything,
Yeah.
you've got, you can take over that whole facility.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That
And
would
I
be
think she
interesting.
has the power to do that. But it was not,
Well,
she didn't even think anything about it because she's all about
yeah.
following orders, doing what Hemlock says, and that's what he's taught me
Right.
everything, blah, 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 blah. But now
Well,
she has an identity crisis, and so she's starting to rethink it.
and just an aside too. I mean, we see this this question posed to
Hey,
her.
John, how's it going?
Hi, John.
Welcome.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're talking about the episode right now. We're talking about episode 10,
Identity
Identity
crisis.
Crisis. Um, so just a little bit off track, just a little bit, and let's apply that to like real life. There's often times where we don't feel like we can do anything. What power do I have to help or whatever to do anything?
Right.
And just recently, uh, there in our community, there was a tragedy in our community where there was a family whose house burned, and there were
A number of
four kids
family
and
members that were.
four kids, and the he was the fiance that died in this house fire. The mother and the oldest son, I think, survived, and then the house next to it also burned too.
Right.
So there
Right.
was two families without homes, but yet the community rallied together.
Our video is freezing.
Yes,
It could be a bad connection today because we've had a lot of storms go through and whatnot. So
yes,
the connection might not be as bad. So we apologize for that.
yes,
And we hope you're catching most of it.
yes.
But
But anyhow, our community came together and um, they helped and were able to raise like over $100,000 for this
well, I
family.
think it's up to over 200,000.
Wow.
Last I heard.
And
So,
see, that's awesome. And that's what I'm
and
talking
it's just
about.
one person
Um,
can't do that maybe, but a bunch of people together can.
Right. But here we're talking in relation to Emery and the power that she has in her hand to help change what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's just amazing. And we see, she doesn't want to get close because they're specimens and she doesn't want to get close to them, but she's going to develop a relationship with these
Oh, she
younglings.
already has.
Oh, I know.
I mean, she's already given in to Eva.
Right.
She's not supposed to say names, but she was like hurt, and she was, and she had to
Yeah.
reach out, so she calls her by her name.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, she's got Omega's doll.
Right. Yeah.
Because she couldn't take, and she was like got that little smile at the end,
Yeah.
the last little thing, just a little smile from Emery,
Oh,
because she came out and got that doll, and she was
yeah.
happy.
Well, I think though too, um, I think Emery in the back of her mind, I think if this is back in the first episode, I think season 3, one of the first episodes, and what happened was she Omega says to her, she says, I'm a prisoner here. And she's like, Emery's like, you're not a prisoner. And she says, we're prisoners. She didn't see that.
No, because that's the way she was brought up. That's the only thing that she knows.
Yeah, all she sees is know that we're helping.
Hmm.
We're helping with whatever we're doing here, and we're making a difference
Yes.
pretty much,
Well, now she's starting to figure it out.
She's starting to figure it out that, hey,
What are we
maybe
making a
Omega's
difference
right.
with kids for? What are we doing? What are we making a difference with kids? How are we
Yeah.
doing that?
Yeah.
you know,
And you're
and
keeping them from,
from their family, and
right.
you know, and but it's me. I did that too. That's how I was a kid and I was kept in a place like this, and
Hmm.
she's figuring it out, and it's all going to come together in
It's
the
all
end.
going to come together. And I think that she's going to be a key element here in um, how everything plays out
Hmm.
with aiding the Bad Batch
Right.
and Omega and um, to stop whatever's happening, or at least for now, at the end of season 3.
Well, that's it. That's all we have. This is season 3. Is it?
Well,
This is,
what I
so
mean
I'm
is
hoping we
we
get a good
see it
ending.
again in The Mandalorian, so it
No,
hasn't stopped.
no, right. It hasn't stopped.
But
They're
I
still
think
trying to
that
get
they're
back.
going to put a stop to it, and
Right.
she's going to help in aiding to do that. I think she's going to be crucial in this final episode of season 3 of the Bad
Hmm.
Batch.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
got a little bit more explanation also in this episode about how
Oh,
the M count works
okay.
and why he needs Omega so badly.
Okay.
And he's explaining it to Emery, and because she's asking about why use children and this and that, and it leads to another further explanation is that the Mega's blood, he said, and this is quoted, is the only binder that is proven to be compatible with their DNA, the clone's DNA, to recreate their M count levels and why Omega must be found. So hers, high M count with the clone's blood and everything, it works together and it recreates what needs to be done.
Yeah, but where do these other younglings come in then?
I think that they're used as well. I don't know yet, but I think that's how it all works together. Maybe they're using hers and theirs, and they put it with the clones. I don't know if it's all mixture or combination.
Yeah,
See
that's
that I'm still a little confused about that because I don't know a whole lot about the M count and the
necromancer, right?
right, that whole project, and I'm just totally
Necromancer.
confused. So I'm just trying to make a
If anybody has any comments or any theories about
yeah,
that,
right. That would be very
let us
helpful.
know down in the
But
comments.
I mean, that's from what I'm getting from that episode is that it needs more than one person to
Hmm.
get, and it has to be clones and Omega and possibly something else, somebody else's blood to make this whole thing work. Because there's another way. They can't just do it. Is basically what he's saying. You can't just do it directly from the source. You can't replicate the M count directly from the source anymore.
Hmm.
And Nayla Say is the one that knew the other way,
I like Naylor.
and that's why she was aiding Omega's escape
Hmm.
because she didn't want that to be found out because
Yeah,
she knows what could happen, and she's not about that.
yeah.
So she's
She's trying to make a difference
she's trying
and
to.
risking her life doing it
That's exactly right.
because that's more important to her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I
But
like
that
I
that
like Taylor Say. I really like her a lot.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think of her at first because
Mm-mm.
she was kind of the way she talks. It was almost like you didn't couldn't trust her.
I think it's their species, and that's just the way they
Right.
talk.
It is, I know, but it was just the way it kind of, it just rubbed me the wrong way at first. Well, it did. It did. It did. Oh, it's okay.
Oh.
I'm cool with her. Me and her, we're like this now.
But yeah, so we were like intrigued with the identity crisis. We thought it was really good, and the ending was like, oh, is this it? They're gonna leave us like this, means it's like, and then we're like, oh look, it's another episode today.
Yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, we remembered this time. We
That's
saw
right.
that coming in. We missed the first 2 episodes this past couple weeks ago or whatever. We missed the second episode, so we have we talking about this and yeah. So we got it. We got you covered this week. We
That's
got you
right.
covered. We got you
That's
covered.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So I mean, we are talking spoilers in here. I didn't say that up front, but we are talking spoilers.
And they know that by now.
Yes, they do. But I just thought for anybody that's joining late, you know,
Hey,
it's spoilers.
that's
It's
right.
nothing but spoilers here.
Let's get to episode. Do you want to move to episode
Yeah, I do.
11?
I do. I
Point of
definitely want to do.
no return.
Yeah, this is where it really starts to hit. So we
Wow.
get that little background, little interlude episode before the the news of when Asajj Ventress comes as the harbinger, you know, the bad news or whatever, and or you know, a bad omen or something that's going to happen bad. And
Okay.
so now it's starting. It's definitely starting and the point of no return.
Well,
'Cause,
she also points out, she says, I wouldn't stay around here. I'd get out of here. And I, I think she knew this. Like nobody knew where they were yet. She knew before they knew where to find them, that they would be found.
hmm hmm
And she said, get out of here. Don't stay here.
that's quite a possibility because, Yoda,
She was a witch, right? Asajj
yeah,
Ventress.
yeah, she was one of the, yeah, and Yoda used to be able to foresee things in the future, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, I mean, it's quite the possibility that she knew exactly what was coming,
yeah,
but didn't tell them
yeah,
because, it's happening. She just gave them warning, and
yeah. I wish we would see more of her, and I don't
I
know if
think
we
we
will.
will.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to see more of her. I think she's
Really?
gonna, oh, yeah.
Uh,
I think she's going to know how to get a hold of Cad Bane. Cad Bane's going to be in all of, I don't know.
he's not going to help. He's not going to
No,
tell
he's
anybody.
not, but if it's something in it for him, he's along for the ride.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Fennec Shan too.
Exactly.
All
So I mean,
those.
something's going to come into play big time.
Hmm.
It's gonna, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a top-notch ending.
I cannot wait to see how Dave Filoni um, pulls this one off. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see how the rest of this goes because it's been a one roller coaster of a ride here. I
Uh-huh.
love it. I love it. This is my favorite season.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're really seeing a lot of development in a lot of the characters. We get a lot more background, of what's happening from that the in between timeline of what happened to those characters. What were they doing?
Mhm. Mhm.
So that was kind of cool. I know, but I'm digressing.
You are.
I know.
I'm just letting you go.
You let me go. You
But
go ahead,
point of
girl.
no return. So this is where it starts.
Hmm.
The point of no return is exactly a good. This is a good title.
I know.
So we've got the setup here.
Mhm.
Clone X Trooper, which we think is Tech,
We think it's tech still,
reprogrammed to be somebody horrible
right? From one of
for the
Dr.
Emperor. Yeah.
Dr. Royce
Royce.
Hemlock's
Mm,
experiments, one of his other experiments he has
exact,
going on. Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He gets it all set up. He goes on to Fee's ship. Faye,
Fee.
Fee, Faye, Fee,
Phee.
Fee.
Fee. Right.
I'm having a little brain thing going on.
Brain fart.
Maybe. I gotta go. These words sometimes give me trouble. Oh, anyhow, he gets
uh,
the stuff. He goes on there. He sneaks on there. Gets the information he needs, just like Tech would.
right.
He would know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of has an idea of where the Bad Batch is and Omega, which is what Hemlock sends him to do.
Yeah.
Because he's going to
Yeah.
be losing funding and he's not going to be getting his funds that he needs because he's not putting out what he says he's putting out.
Yeah.
General Governor, Governor Tarkin, he talks with, he speaks
Yeah.
with, and he says, well, what is this project? You don't need to know that. It's something for Emperor Palpatine, blah, 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 blah. You don't need to
Yeah.
know anymore. Well, if I don't see anything, blah, blah, anything come of this, well, you aren't getting any funding. So he's like, all right, this is it. We're getting Omega, and there's nothing to it. This is what's happening. We're getting Omega. I can't, and he calls them in. He goes and he gets the information. And so they go back. Uh, they get the
Yes, they do.
I wanted to say Clone X gets all that information, but he also the encryption is so the reason why I really still think this is tech is because this encryption is just not it's not any encryption.
Yeah.
B is trying to cover her tracks, so it's an encryption of an encryption or whatever,
Yeah.
and he figures this all out.
Yeah.
So he gets it all,
Um,
and
I think she realized that somebody was around. So when she gets back to the island, I think she might be able to put two and two together, like, hey,
it was her ship that they compromised to find out where they were,
maybe,
possibly.
possibly.
Uh-huh. And I think that, oh, so let me just continue this. So we got on Pabu, the Bad Batch is taking heed of Asajj Ventress's suggestion to leave.
Right,
So
they're
they're
packing
packing
it
up.
up.
They're getting stuff on the
Yeah, yeah,
Marauder.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Omega has a moment with the mayor's daughter in the museum type place in the temple where they keep all of the special
Yeah, yep,
memorabilia or
yep,
and you know what she leaves is because
yeah,
she wants to be reminded that
yes,
this is what she knows of as home
as
and at
home.
least a piece of her will be there. So she
Yeah.
leaves her doll
Oh, yeah, she
and
does.
she leaves Tech's
Sex goggles.
goggles
I know. Two things that,
that are very
yes,
meaningful to her and
right.
that would remind her
Yeah,
that
yeah,
this is where her home is and
hmm
whatnot.
yeah,
So we have what we see on Pabu is it's all always very nice, so enjoyable. We see the three clones, Mox and oh, I can't remember the other names.
the two that they kind of
The
found and
yeah, let me see if I can find the names real quick.
okay,
So it was Mox, and that's the only name that that comes up in the. But they were all there, all three of them.
yeah,
They were there, and they're having fun. They're eating ice cream, and they're just having a lot of fun. It's enjoyable. They're being kids,
hmm
trying to find out who they are, other than being a soldier.
right.
So that's all good. And then,
Yeah, and this has always been, with the Bad Batch, them too, finding their identity
uh-huh.
as soldiers without being soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
So they're finding trying to figure it all out, and here they
Mm-hmm.
are, they're back
Mm-hmm.
at it again, being soldiers
Mm-hmm.
because they need to be.
Right. So we finally get
hmm
to them, and Hunter's like, he senses something and it doesn't sound good. He gets, hey, Mega, we're leaving. It's time to go.
Right.
Well, they went to get something else. Wrecker's finishing up um, the Clone X trooper
Yes.
has made it there.
Yeah.
He went in through and probably in the same cave that
Massage.
Asajj parked
Yeah.
his vehicle.
Yep.
He goes and hunts him down. He throws bombs on the Marauder. The Marauder blows up. Wrecker gets hurt.
He shoots them. He snipes. He's a sniper and shoots them over there onto the ship.
Yeah, he shoots
Blows
the
the Marauder up.
right.
There's no more. It's gone.
It's all gone.
And Wrecker gets hurt.
Right. And so that's where we're at so far.
Yeah.
And so
I was like,
Omega,
oh no, no,
I
Wrecker,
I know Wrecker's like one of my
no.
favorites.
I know. I'm like,
And so it all starts.
no, no.
This is all starting. This is all coming to like
hmm
a head here.
And then,
And
and in a
Omega,
matter of seconds, we see the troops come down, and the Empire just starts taking over and hunting down Omega. We knew she's here. La la la
she
la
thinks it's
la.
her fault.
Well,
She thinks it's her fault, and Hunter says, "Stay focused,"
yeah, yeah,
and basically what this all comes down to is because this is all everything's like set up so well.
yeah, it is.
They to the point where okay, we'll take Hunter out. He's trying to get one of their vehicles,
Yes,
transport vehicles, so that they can get off of the island,
yeah,
and that gets shut down, and he gets into the water, and
yeah,
he's down. So
right.
now there's just Crosshair
Omega.
and Omega, and
hmm
Wrecker is still trying to recover.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they try to get. She has a plan. She says, "Come
Yeah.
on," just like I said, "Nah." Plus, is that's not going to work. That plan is not.
No,
That's not going to work. But what else
but
do we have to try? And I just like, we
right.
got to do it. There's no other way.
Yeah,
We've been
so
trying to find that location. Let me be the one. I got everybody here. It's my fault. La 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 la.
Uh-huh. Well,
So,
she basically says,
uh-huh.
I got it written down too because this is a really good conversation. It's like really very, it's like all at the end here.
Yes.
And there's like things like, okay, Crosshair's like, yeah, you got that tracker, but they're gonna find it on you. Well, that's okay. You can just set up a tracker and hook it and fly it and shoot
Attach it to
one
the ship that I'm
and
on.
right.
Hmm.
Well, it's not a viable plan. It's so many variables. It's not good. And Megan says it's all we got and it's my choice. And
Wow.
Crosshair doesn't want her to do it. You can see it in his face. He's
Yeah.
like become like a father figure now. He really cares
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
And he's just sad and he just don't think this is a why and he can't do it. He's not like a soldier, like per se, like follow orders.
Right.
He's like he's torn. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But Omega says, focus on the bigger mission, she says. It's
Mm.
just a small part. I'm just a small part of it.
Wow.
So in other words, she wants to turn herself in.
That's a
And
big,
that's a
that
big
is
thing
a
for her to
big,
say
big
and to
statement from
realize.
someone so young.
Yeah, yeah.
That is really big.
Yeah, so I really love that. I love that about Omega's character. I just love it. She just sees what needs to be done,
Mhm.
and it's not about me or doing this or doing the like being a good soldier or whatever. It's what matters and what's at hand. In other words, she's causing strife and conflict and for this village, and it's her fault. And she's like,
I need to do
I need to
this
do this to get this
because
going.
there's a bigger picture
There's a bigger
here.
picture. And she
Mhm.
also goes on and they're talking, it's our chance to finally get to Taintus because Crosshair's like, they're
Right.
going to bring you to Taintus again.
Yeah.
She says, well, that's all the more better because that way you can track me. We can find the clones and get them out of there.
That's right.
So this is her big thing, and
Yeah. Yeah.
she's got the positive attitude,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to for this kind of a thing.
Yeah. But needless to say,
Yes. So
that
yeah,
that plan failed.
Charles
Um,
Crosshair
Crosshair,
almost does it.
well, I believe he would have,
I believe he would
and I
have too.
believe his shooting has gotten better.
I think so
He
too.
was distracted by something else, and he missed it by seconds. It didn't
Hmm.
go far enough.
Right.
I think that it would he could have latched on there had he not been distracted.
Right.
And so, I mean, imagine how he feels.
Yeah.
You
So once
know,
again, he failed to
yeah,
shoot and be a sharpshooter.
right,
So I don't and he lost Omega.
right.
And so he's
Now,
like devastated.
right.
And it's like, oh,
So here's the thing, though. We have that all going on. Uh, the ex-clone trooper gets Omega, gets her on board his ship, and they take off, and they're headed back. Um, we don't know what happened to Hunter at all.
mm-mm,
So it's actually just it's we where was I going with this? Sorry.
uh,
We don't know what happened with Hunter.
no, but I think Hunter and
I
Baxter are on that ship.
Right. That's where I was going. Sorry, I had a little time warp there in my brain. I think he is aboard that ship. I think he's aboard that ship, but he's not going to show himself yet. He don't want Omega to know he's there, and he don't want the Clone X to know that he's on that ship.
Right? But we do,
Because because I think that he wants to get the coordinates. He wants to know where they're headed. He wants to get them off of that ship,
and then maybe send them back somehow.
send them back somehow. I don't know, or take the ship and have. I don't
Well,
know.
I don't
I
know,
don't know.
but that's just our your
Yeah.
your idea.
I
Your
know it is. It is.
well, my take on it is,
Oh, you have a taken.
I believe
Yes.
that Hunter and Batcher are on that ship with Omega, and they're going to go back and they're going to find Taintus together. Now you see at the end, you'll see that Omega just starts meditating. And then she opens her eyes and she has a look.
Mm.
Now it's either
She senses
she sees someone
or she
or
senses.
she's determined to get
Oh,
this job done and work it out.
I wonder if she
But
senses somebody going there.
or something.
Something.
But
Something.
that she has a look. And what that look is I'm not quite sure, but it could be a couple different things. And so I guess we're just gonna have to wait. But
Ah,
it's getting good.
yeah,
It is getting really good. I
very
can't wait
good.
to see where this is headed.
Oh, I know. I
Hmm?
hmm, that's very interesting. That meditating, they showed that for a reason. That's got to be some sort of key here.
Yeah. Yep.
That
Hmm.
has to be some sort of key.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah. I think she doesn't know what she has and realizes what she can do yet. And
hmm,
when she figures it out, hmm it's
yeah,
gonna be good, good, good,
it's
good.
gonna be good.
But I just wanted to say that I was looking through the credits with everybody that was starring in this
Yes.
episode 11,
Yeah.
and I seen Matt Lanter's name on there. And if you all
Oh.
know, Matt Lanter was the voice of Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars. And it looks like he had a little
Oh.
small part, Ollie and Stormtrooper #1, but he was in it. He did.
Ah.
So that was kind of cool to see his name. Like,
Yeah,
oh
that's pretty
yay,
cool. How
yeah,
about that?
yeah,
Sweet.
uh-huh,
All
yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah. And then the Daniel Logan Mox, who did Boba Fett in the Clone Wars too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's the same dude. Was there.
Nice. Nice.
It's really nice to see those guys there.
Okay, well, let's say, how about you guys let us know in the comments, what is your take? What's your take on all this? Where do you see this going? What do you think? We want to know in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah.
And we're going to close out for now. We want to thank everybody for
Yep.
joining
Yep.
us this
Yes.
evening
Yep. Thanks.
for episode 10 and 11 of a discussion of the Bad Batch.
Yeah. So point of no return has started,
The point of no return has started.
and it is going to be an
Right.
exciting ride to the end.
Yeah. And before we go, if you aren't subscribers to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. Uh, we appreciate
Share us
it.
out.
Share us out. Hey, that would be awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. And down in the comments in the description below, I have a link for a 500 sub giveaway that we're going to do when we reach 500 subs. And our goal is at
The end of
at the end
August.
of August, we want to reach 500 subs.
Yep.
So let's rally together
Yes.
and help us, support us. Okay, we love you guys. I'll see you in
Yep.
the next
Yep.
one. I'm Jedi Joy.
I'm Jedi Jill.
May the
May the
force
force be
be
with
with
you.
you.